Good morning, everybody. This is Cindy Clark from PAC-B TV, and on this fine, chilly morning, we're here with Don Collett and Paul Dorsey from our local American Legion. Don is the post commander, and Paul is the post adjutant. So they are going to let us know a little bit about the mission of the American Legion as a whole, what they're doing here to try to sustain its membership. So Don, we'll start with you. Why don't you tell us how this all got started and what your mission is?
Well, the American Legion isn't just a local organization. We're a national organization. There is legions in every state. We have over 12,000 posts and over 2 million members, American Legion, in the states. There are different levels. There's the national level, there is the district level, and there's the post level. Out of there's county, and the county before post county. In Onondaga County alone, there's over 20 American Legion posts. So we are considered one of the largest and most influential organizations to support different political aspects and parts of the thing. Going along with the political, we are a non-political organization. We're very adamant that we don't go for a political field. We do have our agendas, and to explain the American Legion, we pretty much have to go through the pillar system. We're based on 4 pillars. The first one being rehabilitation and benefits for members. The second one is Americanism, which we bring in students. We have a college fund, scholarship fund, and Paul, you know some of those. We have the American Legion.
Boys State.
Boys State.
Yep.
Now, what is that? What is that?
That is a week-long thing that we go to the school. We interview junior students at the high school, and we send them, and they meet up with the whole state, boys from the whole New York State, and they go over the guidelines of politics. I know they elect for fake, new named states. They put in governors, police chiefs, everybody, and they literally have scenarios that they go through and they learn. I've been dealing with that for many years, interviewing the boys, and it brings back my faith in our youth. These are some of the smartest young men that I've dealt with. They send thank you notes, and we tell us what they did and how they did the post, and we keep those posted at the post so people can see it and know it. It costs us a certain amount of money to send to each boy, but last year we were able to send 9 boys from Baldwinsville. The whole county sent 32, so out of 20 we sent 9.
We did very
That
well.
was very well.
Yeah, we did.
Good job.
And all these boys usually, if they have a brother that has gone to Boys State, they're really participating and wanting to go to Boys State. That's coming up, and we've already got the boys selected, and they'll be going, I hope. We can come up with the funding. Again, everything is based on funding. We charge a membership annual membership. With that membership, we have to send some to the state, send some to the department, which is the state, send some to the federal or national. And by the time we get to ours, we're talking pennies to our end. Our funds come from our functions that we hold, and chicken barbecues.
Oh, they're great too. I've been to your big chicken barbecues.
Pulled pork dinners.
Yep.
Those are how we get a lot of our funding. A lot of our money that we can pay for our power, electricity, and stuff comes through our lounge. We have a lounge for members, and we have fundraising through that. And you got anything to add to
Oh, I've got a lot, but
I'm
gonna
sure you
wait.
do. I'm
because
sure you do.
It's a great organization. Don's one of the older sides of the organization as far as how much time he's been there, and I represent more of the newer side. I've been there 3 or 4 years now, I think, and it's been a wonderful 3 or 4 years for me. We have a lot of functions, like Don said, from the more serious with the Boys State to the more lighthearted with the Pinewood Derby, which we just hosted at our post. It's a remarkable place, and I know you're going to ask me more questions about that, so I'll wait for that to come up in the conversation.
Well, you could just talk. If you have something to say about the mission or what you do, how to get volunteers or anything like that, feel free. Feel free.
It is an organization for veterans. It's an organization that supports veterans. As Don said, everyone is welcome. You wore the uniform, you are welcome at the American Legion post in Baldwinsville. It's a place where when I walked in for the very first time, I didn't know anyone, and when I walked out, I knew everyone. And as I was talking to Cindy about this earlier, it's just something I didn't know about. For me, it was a hidden treasure off of Smoky Hollow Road, and I used to pass by that every day when I would drive to work. And one day I just had the bright idea of actually turning down the driveway and going in and seeing what the place was about, and I was amazed, and I was hooked. And I have been a member since, and I volunteer now as the post adjutant, and I'm honored to serve with people like Don and Steve and Mike and all the other officers and members of the executive committee we have. It's a great organization that runs solely on really volunteers. They're the heartbeat of the post. And hopefully when we get through with this, people in the community who are watching will come and pay us a visit. They'll take a look at the post and see the things that we have to offer, from our barbecues to our horseshoe pits, to our pole barn, which we rent out for a lot of different occasions that are available to you. Barbecues, whether it be chicken or pulled pork. And right now, coming up for St. Patrick's Day, we have the Reuben sandwich that we're going to be hosting on the 17th of March. So if you like a good Reuben sandwich,
I mean, the
come
food's
by
good.
the post,
I have to
please.
say, I've been to some of the barbecues, and they're very, very good. They're very good.
Thank you.
So, Don, how long have you been a member there, and what got you started?
I've been a member 16 years, I think it is. And what got me started is, I remember as Paul went in and he felt comfortable and I remember going in there as a little boy with my parents. My mother and my father have been members of the post ever since I can remember. We have a flying flag that has got fan driven and go, and that's been there, and it made me think about joining. And once I got in, I got involved. It was like Paul said, the camaraderie ship. You come in, you don't know somebody, they might have been a different branch of the military than you, but you're a veteran. And veterans just have a thing together. As we go with our membership, we have auxiliary. Spouses are welcome to join. Our ladies auxiliary, and it's not ladies auxiliary anymore, it's been changed to be auxiliary members, and it can be any spouses, male or female. To be a member. We have our Sons of the American Legion. Sons are descendants of a veteran. And pretty much the main requirement is an honorable discharge from military service.
How many members would you say you have now?
We have a quota, annual quota of 163, and we're pretty much up to that right now.
Good.
We have a good, Paul mentioned all our officers. I have a first vice commander who takes care of a membership, Steve, and he's been doing a great job in trying to keep communication and stuff. It's hard to get the word out, as you just said, as Paul just said. He drove past the thing years and never stopped in. We have a new sign out front denoting us, but we have a long driveway back through, and people don't see the building.
You're right. You're right.
And go. Between our 3 functions, and there is another motorcycle group, the Legion Riders, that do an awful lot. We don't have any Legion Rider members of our post. Local and other posts have a lot of. And they do ceremonial rides and anything for returning veterans or things like that. The Legion, to me, is my life. I don't think I go 3 days without being down at the post. And something to do. I'm retired, retired from school district, and you need something to do besides going to the doctors all the time.
Please, I know that.
People are welcome, and that's, as Paul said, that is one of our big things is you're welcome. You don't have to come and spend your day there and everything, but come in and say hi, see our people, and be a people.
I know a couple of the events that I went to, just, the barbecues or something, it was, like you say, everybody makes you feel welcome and warm, and it was just like going to a relative's house to have dinner. I mean, that's how it felt. That's exactly, and that's a good,
That's our
sometimes that's
goal.
tough to do, but you do it very well. Yeah, you do.
It
The
is
people
a
are
goal.
great. They really are great.
And as Don was saying, we have members that have been there. They're almost lifetime members. It's a generational thing. Don was just saying that too. He was a child when he first walked in there, and our goal is to continue it as a generational organization within our community because it is worthwhile. Again, we primarily we're here for the veterans, and that's what we're supposed to do, is to serve the veterans. We have a service officer who can link our veterans who are in need, any kind of need, up with the right and the appropriate assistance that they may require. We just have a wonderful group of people that really represent the Baldwinsville community. I've heard more stories about the Baldwinsville community there than any other place, even more than the Y. And when you're there, you can hear a lot of stories. But I'll tell you, there's something about the American Legion, and you really, from the sledding down the hill in front of the high school to the different farms in the community, and it's just a great place to be rooted into Baldwinsville, to really be dialed in to what's going on here. And as Don said, also, it's a wonderful opportunity to volunteer, to find a place and make your
To
community.
find a little niche for you within the
Exactly.
community, to have people reach out to you, to feel the comfortableness of being around other people, and also doing something for the veterans.
Exactly.
Which is a wonderful thing. It really is.
The American Legion formed right after World War I. And it was formed by the Ladies Auxiliary first, and then as the veterans and war people came home, they joined and we're going. So our charter date is 1931, and our ladies I think it was 1932 or something like that. And we've been an active open post since then.
Now, have you always been in the same location, or were you?
No,
Okay, where else were you?
it was right in the Four Corners, upstairs in one of the buildings in the Four Corners.
Okay. I didn't know that.
This was a farmhouse that the Legion had bought quite a while ago. And we built off it and built a lounge area and things. And we're still needing to build.
Yeah.
We're still needing to go.
And repair and keep things updated
Well,
and keep
that's-
it going. But that's common. That's
That's
anywhere you go.
everywhere.
That's everywhere, exactly.
Now, what would you say be the best way to attract somebody, to let them know, to encourage people to join?
Mine would be to
just
come to
walk
one of
in?
our functions.
Okay.
Food.
You know?
Oh, food. Well,
Food is always big for a
does
lot of
it-
people.
yeah.
So I mean, the barbecues are always great. Like I said, we have the Reuben sandwiches coming up, and but I think food and maybe if there's a little desire for some comradeship, the idea of getting together with more people, expanding that neighborhood of yours,
Mm-hmm.
going from just the people across the street from you to people across town
Right.
that you may never have had a chance to get to meet. And I know that's happened for me. I've made some wonderful friends there that I don't think any other way I would have ever come in contact with. And I'm so grateful that I was able to do that. But I guess like me, you've got to decide to turn left as you're going down Smoky Hollow Road. You got to just put the turn signal on and turn left. And the great thing is you'll be grateful for doing it, because it really is a wonderful organization. And on Mondays and Wednesdays too, Don and our auxiliary have put together something really kind of special for the members. If you're hungry at lunchtime, you come by and you get a $3 hamburger, and on Wednesdays you get a $1 hot dog and some fixings that
Can't
go
beat
along
those
with
prices,
it.
huh?
And it's to bring people in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not to make money or anything like that. As Paul was saying, a lot of people think of a American Legion post as a lot of old veterans sitting around hashing out war stories. That's probably one of the farthest things that we do. They want to talk about the future. We want to talk about programs we have for your children. You know, the scholarships. We do scholarships. We've had to sit back a little bit with COVID, but we've come back to scholarships. The Boys State program is, I'm so impressed with the boys that Baldwinsville has to talk about what they're learning and to learn with it. Last year that we sent 6 boys, I think, or 9, and one of our boys became the national commander, because they have a big get together, voting and put it together. One of our boys went the farthest that you can pretty much go to national level in their part. Then it goes into the state, and our boy went to state, and the boy that went and his alternate, so they have an alternate, took first and second in New York State. So if you don't understand the program, you don't understand how important and how good that was. Yeah. When you walk into one of our doorways, we have what they call a plastic license plate that each post has. We go to a post and you get their license plate, you give them one of ours, they give one of ours, and you can see all the posts that all the way down the hallway that have been to our post and done things. We do our ceremonies. We have POW Day, POW-MIA Day. We do Memorial Day parade. Going on Memorial Day, I do the working with the village. We put up the flags throughout the village. That's done through a program that I've set up with the American Legion to pay for that. And those flags are identified to a veteran. They're paid by a veteran for veteran's family.
That's right. Yep.
And
my neighbor has that.
And
for
we
her
have
husband, yeah.
their name on the flag, and it goes the same place for three years. We talked about the scouts a little bit. The local scout troops help and assist wholeheartedly with the cemetery flags. We put up over 2,000 flags during cemetery flags. The scouts do that for us. They get with me, and we take them back down after the Memorial Day ceremony area.
That's quite an event. I know.
Yeah.
I always feel so proud when I go to my parents' grave, and the flag is always there.
Yeah.
It's always there. I really, it's a wonderful thing.
It was my first time last year actually participating in that and I was able to help the scouts, find the right markers and then the right graves. But the respect that they show,
Yes.
and the solemnness, excuse me, with the occasion they are just wonderful representatives of our community, and we're very appreciative to the Scouts, the Boy Scouts as well, for what they do and how they contribute to the community in the ways that they do. And one of those other quiet ways that we reach out there, like Don was saying, with the parade, a lot of people don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but there's a lot of coordination, a lot of work, and the American Legion is in the middle of all of that to make sure that we put on an appropriate and a show that's worthy of the honor and respect that our veterans deserve.
Yes, they do. Yes,
especially
they
our
do.
fallen veterans. So we're dug in. Don did mention the pandemic, and we're digging ourselves out of that
Right.
a little bit. I mean, membership. One of the things that we would like to share with the community is that everyone is welcome, and we would love to grow the membership. as much as possible. Well, there is no cap, I don't believe. There's ever been a cap on the maximum number of members you can have. So please, if you are a veteran, if you qualify, we would love to have you come down and check us out and become a member and join us, because it's a wonderfully worthwhile organization. It really is.
Well, I can sense the enthusiasm from both of you. I really can.
Or an auxiliary member. I mean, we don't, if you have your father's passed, your grandfather's passed, and they were veterans with an honorable discharge, they're welcome to join as an auxiliary member or a son of the American Legion. It's very important that we're an organization. We're not just the Legionnaires broken off by yourself. We're three-part post and go. So they're welcome to join if they qualify also. They don't count for our Legionnaire numbers, but they do count as a Legionnaire person.
Well, I thank you, gentlemen. I'll have to tell you, this is an eye-opener for me, that I learned so much today. And here I thought I was pretty knowledgeable about our local American Legion, because we used to do, years ago, we used to do line dancing there. I don't know if you ever remember that.
No, not that.
Well, we're going back a few years now. But like I say, I've come to the barbecues and always felt welcome there. Always felt welcome. But if anybody is interested in talking to these gentlemen or reaching out, we'll have a site that you can send in your request to reach out to Don and Paul. Mm-hmm. If you want to volunteer, if you're interested in knowing what any events they have locally, you can get your information that way. But gentlemen, I want to thank you so much. I have learned so much today and realized, what we have. We have a little treasure here in our community, and I think it's wonderful. But thank you.
Before we say, we should tell you where the post is.
Oh, good. That's good.
It's 8529 Smoky Hollow Road, just past Heckle Boulevard as you're going out of the village.
It's right past Lysander Park as well, right? On the same
Absolutely.
side. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for that.
And they're welcome to stop. People are welcome to stop in and see what we're doing.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much,
Thank you
gentlemen.
very
I
much.
appreciate it. Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.